Hey everyone, it is Wednesday. I am no longer sitting in a car with bad cell coverage. We are here at Litvak Leadership Live, and I'm here with my new friend, Tony Vicente. Did I say your last name right?
You
Vincente.
did, Sean. Thank you.
Vicente. He is CEO of Rossario George, which is a lifestyle brand and a bit of a social media expert too. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things today. So Tony, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to be here.
So Tony is friends with Brian Weevil, who has been on the show before and seems to be quite the connector, bringing people together. And Brian had told me, he's like, you need to reach out to Tony. And he said, you know, he connected us, and I'm really kind of interested in hearing Tony's story and the leadership involved in building a lifestyle brand. So let me ask you first, how did you find yourself involved in lifestyle branding? To me, it's fashion, but I know there's home goods, and as you said, as we were chit-chatting before the show began, you know, it's so much more. So how did you first get involved with it?
Well, it was kind of serendipitous. I was an artist and I had a small brand for home goods. And the company Vita reached out to me and wanted me to be a designer. I became a designer, became one of their top selling designers, and decided for myself, I need to go into business and, you know, do my thing. Let's see how it goes. And that's how Rossario George ended up starting. We did start out as fashion, but because I've been in marketing for so long, I see a bigger picture. I don't see just clothing. I see a whole way of life. And that's what I wanted to introduce. And that's exactly what Rossario George is. The reason we're a lifestyle brand is because we have fashion, we have beauty, we have home goods. And, you know, on social media, we share recipes and different ways and videos to, you know, make your life as beautiful as it possibly can be. And that's our overall goal, is to provide a brand that provides a template on a beautiful life. You know, everybody has their own visions of what makes them happy. And we want to be there to showcase that we are a brand that is for everyone. So that's Rossario George in a nutshell. And we have so many different things coming up. I can't wait to share with, you know, the world just what we're about.
Now, you started the brand in 2018, and I was looking for our initial conversation back and forth, and somehow it got either fell out of my email and I couldn't find it, or it wasn't on Messenger where I thought it was. But you had told me that you're a worldwide brand, but you also have brick and mortar facilities too, in addition to just being online. Isn't that correct?
Well, we sell with a company by the name of Forum. We're also on a lot of different social media platforms that are based around fashion and beauty, such as Fashwire. They're located in Seattle, Washington, along, you know, where we're all Washington State family. And yes, Forum has various locations in the US, and we have our clothing with them. You can actually take a look on forumstore.com. And you'll see our brand promoted rather heavily on it.
So how did you, forumstore.com. All right, got it. So you know, looking at your website, I mean, in 2 years, you know, 2 years, 3 years, however you count it, to go from this is what I want to do to you had said you told me earlier that in September you're going to be part of Fashion Week in New York. To make that leap, to build your website, to have such brand recognition, you know, what was the leadership involved? What was the vision? To what were the strategies? So many questions that you implemented to, you know, really accelerate what you're doing.
You know, Sean, I am very blessed to surround myself with a lot of different wonderful leaders, and seeing how they do things, absorbing it and implementing it is one of the keys to Rossario George and my successes. Another thing is to believe in your team. I have the perfect people for this perfect brand in my eyes. They care about it as much as I do. I listen to what they have to say, and I never look at myself as like a boss or a CEO. I'm a partner. And I think that's one of the key things that I would love for leaders in all industries to take away, is that consider yourself a partner versus being a leader, because no success is without everyone else taking place in it. And in regards to the strategies that were used, I was in marketing for years. So I already became established as a public figure, and utilizing that strength got more eyes onto this brand that I decided to create. And also utilizing social media strategies. We do a lot of postings. We make beautiful images that really attract people to our brand. So I guess the key takeaways from your question would be, just think of yourself as a partner. Don't be afraid to take risks, but do them smart, and just understand and just really get to know your audience. Because of your audience, that's where your success is really going to take shape.
So when you said you were established as a public figure,
yep.
So on Twitter you would have a blue check mark next to you. Explain how the process you went through, the steps you took that established you as a public figure.
Absolutely. And I'm verified on Facebook, and it's easy if you do videos. I started out doing videos for eHow, and I became known as the fashionable foodie. And
Okay.
from there, I got my verified check, and it's just been like one thing after the other. Being a public figure is fun. It allows you to really, communicate with fans, and it also gives you an easy way to communicate with other influencers as well. That's one of the reasons why I worked for a major company. They knew that I was a public figure, but at the same time, they knew that I was able to communicate effectively with other influencers. And that's one of the things that I do on top of being CEO of Rossario George. Is I'm a social media expert, and I'm working for, major companies. And
So when you say being a public figure opens the door to communicating with other influencers, so it's, I'm not saying this in a negative way, but it's the only way I can think of saying it. It's kind of a cliquey little club of these verified individuals, right? Is that what you're saying?
Honestly, I would say that, and it unfortunately shows. I'm one of the individuals that no matter who you are, I'm always going to talk to you. So I always tell my partner, I look forward to being famous just because I know that, it's going to be a very interesting ride. I'm never going to turn people away from an autograph. I'm never going to not take a picture. We're where we are because of everyone that follows us, who listens to us, who talks to us. So to be a part of a clique just doesn't fit for me. But in a way, you're right. I guess, other social media managers, they do want to protect brand. They want to protect the individuals online who they're working for. And 9 out of 10, they will communicate more with someone else who is verified versus with somebody who is not verified, just because they feel like they're on the same kind of caliber, on the same kind of wavelength. And also they may have a better, they may want an opportunity with one another. So yeah, it's a clique sort of way, but at the same time, there's a business component behind it. There's always ways to be bigger than what you are. And sometimes it helps when somebody else is on the same wavelength as you, and you collaborate.
So, I've heard the story from Sarah Blakely from Spanx, how she had, this idea, and she sat in her apartment and cut holes in her pantyhose to figure out what she wanted to do. And she ended up calling, I think it was Macy's. Maybe I'm mistaken there, but it was a major department store. And she finally got through to them, and they said, "Okay, we'll meet with you." And they told her when, and she bought a ticket and flew to where she was going. And she showed this to the person, and the person looked at it, and they didn't get it. And it was a guy she was talking to, and she said, "Follow me to the bathroom." Went to the bathroom. She put it on, and then he looked at it. He goes, "Okay, I understand now." And so, to be able to take those kinds of risks to get something started like that, what did you do to get Rossario George started with that oomph to, leap you out there?
Absolutely. I literally used all of my own personal money. I never got investors. I never reached out for investors, funds. Everything that I do for Rossario George is 100% funded by me. And I won't lie, in the beginning, it was definitely easy. It wasn't easy. It was extremely hard. I started Rossario George about the same time that I left a major company. So there wasn't any new funds or anything coming in. It was just what I had and the belief that I knew that Rossario George was going to be something major. And here it is. You got to keep believing, but at the same time, you have to be a little smart about it. But that's my major risk that I took. I could have really fell on my face, but I chose not to. Instead, I just kept going at a pace that was steady. And then when I seen that things changed, we were able to make those major leaps and bounds. That's when I started, building and building and building. And then here we are.
So I know you don't like the term leader or boss, just from what you've said already. And I normally ask people, how do they define leadership? So what I'll ask you instead is, how do you define partnership when you're trying to build an organization?
Well, I like to listen to people that really know what they are doing. Say photography. We have a director of photography. He's one of the best in the industry. And by no means would I, tell him, well, this is what I want to be done. No, I want to hear from you what we should be doing. And then throw in my 2 cents, my 5 cents, whatever it is, and see that vision from other people take shape. And what I love most is that it's always cohesive. There's always ideas thrown out, and I'll be like, wait a minute, I was just thinking that. That's what, to me, a good partnership is. To be successful, you just really have to listen to other people who really know what they're doing. That's the key to being a successful partner, is that you get the right people in place, and you won't have to worry about micromanaging, or just believe in the people because you hired them to be the partners that you deserve and want.
And that goes back to something that I've spoken to people about, that an individual should not be afraid to hire someone that is more talented than themselves, because if all you're going to be doing is hiring people that you are coaching, then so much time is spent on it. Hire not for the role, but for the next role. And someone, at least in my opinion, everyone that someone hires should be better than the person who's hiring them at something.
Agreed.
And then we all move forward. So
absolutely.
When you think about your experience as a follower through partnership, where you weren't the lead partner, but you were part of the organization, there's always situations that make an impression on an individual, either positive, I want to do it like that, or negative, I'm never doing it like that. Tell us about one of those examples.
The very first company I used to work for, I won't say their name, but they had a good old boy mentality, unfortunately. And I've seen a lot of good people being passed up, including myself, for positions that we really deserve to be in versus the ones that we were selected to be in. I think that to me stuck the most just because I knew that there would never be in my sphere of the company that I want to work for and create. I want to know. I want everyone to know that there are opportunities at every moment. I want everybody to know that their voice always counts, and that every decision, every success, that we have together, it's all just because we did it as a team. So I think, like I said, the first company that I worked for really instilled in me the importance of just treating your team, treating everybody right, because karma gets back to you. And if you're a business owner, you're a business leader, you want your karma as clean as possible. So that's how I chose to remain, and that's exactly how I'm going to leave this earth. I want everyone to know that they are special, and we're doing this together. It sounds a little preachy, but that's what it is.
And when you look at various business principles or biblical principles or life principles, it's always about sowing and reaping. Sowing and reaping. You call it karma. I call it sowing and reaping. Different foundation, but it's the same idea, I think. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but what you put into something is what you are going to get. So be thoughtful about how you are engaging. Be thoughtful about what you are planting, because that's what's going to grow.
Agreed. That is a great analogy, my friend.
So when you look to be inspired and to improve yourself, where do you go for inspirational partnership? See, I'm changing my wording here for you.
I know, thank you. But it's all family for me. Nothing inspires me more than my family and my friends. I love where we live. I love the fact that I have two fantastic little doggies, my boys, and, my partner I've been with for 20 years. I have a really great life, and I get to sit back and, when everything is really hectic, I just turn off all my electronics and just sit back and enjoy the life that I have. So if anything inspires me, it's just I do everything for my family. Even this company, it's for my family. It's not just for me. I mean, the name isn't even mine. It's my partner's father, who we named the company after. So everything that I do is, it's around my family, and nothing inspires me more.
And when you look at how you're inspired, and you're thinking to the future, and you're setting goals, what is your goal setting cadence or structure that you look at to decide what's on the horizon?
Well, I'm a planner. We just finished doing our 2021, 2022, and 2023 planning for Rossario George, and we're ahead of schedule, so that makes me very happy. But I don't want to look too far ahead, because you never know what's going to happen. I think nobody could have, and I know this for sure, nobody could have predicted that we would find ourselves in a pandemic.
No.
So, the fact is, keep your planning fluid, because if anything else this year taught you, you have to just roll with the punches. You can't, just stick to the plan all the time. But do have set goals. Like, I knew I wanted to do a runway show this year. I knew that I wanted to expand in our beauty line. I knew that, we were going to do more photo shoots and campaigns. So those are things that can stay static, but, be prepared. Just always have fluidity in your planning, because getting back to the pandemic, you never know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I mean, the pandemic was not something anyone saw. And, how did that shift your business model?
It didn't. We've always were an online brand. So, if anything, we took the opportunity to take risks and, look at other platforms that we can put our collections in. We seeing that we have, solid sales on our site, but hey, let's see what Fashwire, which is a big, big, big platform for fashion, let's get on there and see what they can do for us. Let's be okay to, reach out to different, boutique level stores and get our products in there, because the pandemic, knock on wood, is not going to be forever. And at some point we're going to, I definitely hope not, but we wanted to make sure that we would be in, retail stores. And when you're in a situation where you can't do as much as you want to, that's when you start planning, and then you realize what opportunities are out there. You seek and find what you may want to do. This, we never really, had products in retail shops before, but a partnership with Forum allowed us to do that. So when you find yourself in a situation where things just aren't what they used to be, then look into yourself and decide, you know what, this is what it's going to be. And then you make those decisions. You don't set goals on an expectation. You set goals on what you're physically and mentally able to do. And sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches, but at the same time, you gotta throw a couple. This was the year we threw a couple.
So when you say set goals on what you mentally and physically are able to do, talk about that more, because that almost sounds to me like you're setting goals too low. I mean, and I'll give you an example. When I decided to start streaming every day, Monday through Friday, and invite guests on and talk to them about leadership, I knew that from my mastermind group, there were 20 some odd of us in the group, and I could probably get 15 or more of them to be my first guests. But after that, I had nobody to talk to. So to me, that was kind of that was definitely a goal out there to, hey, I need to engage with people. I need to learn how to ask questions of people. This is a different skill set than a normal conversation. And I wasn't sure how to do it. To me, that's part of goal setting, is you have something out there, you want to do it. You think you have the skills to do it or the knowledge, but you really don't have all of it. That's a goal setting. But it sounds like what you said, and I'm sure I misunderstood you, is that only set goals on things that you can do. So elaborate on that more, because to me, that's not really a goal. You can do it.
Sure. And by no means do I mean, just set what you're physically able to do. What I'm saying is you can't overextend yourself as well, because when you burn out, you're not going to be a help to anyone. So what I should have said is, set expectations, but be worried and be careful of your health, and, just don't burn yourself out. Be smart about it. I see a lot of people burn themselves out, and I got to tell you, I could have easily. I know plenty of other designers and other people who do the industry, and they burn themselves out. Me, no. I love it. I love what I'm doing, and it's fun. And the reason being is because as much as I want this to be my 100%, it's never going to be, just because my life, my family, my health comes way before everything else. And I just want people to know that when you're setting goals, you achieve exactly what you want to achieve, but do it smart. You don't have to go all the time. I hear, you have to grind all the time if you're an entrepreneur. That's true, but grind a little smarter. I hate to see business owners so stressed out because you're doing something that is a passion of yours. You shouldn't be stressed about it. Enjoy the moments, enjoy what you're actually doing, and you'll see, hey, I made it. I did what I needed to do to be this business, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay breathing. I'm okay like taking a day off electronically. I'm okay, deciding to take a vacation and leaving the right people in place while you're gone. So that's pretty much what I mean. I don't want anyone to burn out. Life is too short, and I just really want people to look at it and enjoy it instead of just facing to your business and missing out. So
now that makes more sense.
Thank you.
That makes more sense. So what do you think is the most undervalued talent that people have that people just don't value, but it's really important?
Believing in themselves and believing in others. I think it's easier for a person to think, oh, well, they're not going to, than it is for them to go, they're going to do it. So if you're going to find yourself in an industry and you find yourself climbing the ladder, always make sure to believe in the people that are with you and believe in the people that are around you, and you'll enjoy that success, and the other people will feel the same as you. And a happy company is a great and prosperous company.
So speaking of a happy company, with any company, and with y'all being a lifestyle brand and designers, I'm sure you deal with vendors, you deal with other designers, there's deadlines. How do you communicate your culture to your suppliers and have them buy into it?
Oh, well, we share information. We have a beautiful PowerPoint deck regarding what our company is about. I have deep conversations. I talk to my vendors across the world. They know to send me an email. My communication level with them is completely open. I can't do anything without them. So I want them to know that I'm always here for them. And, just being open, providing them with the information about the company. We have plenty of information out there on social media about us. And, we make sure that we inform them as much as possible about who we are, what our needs are, and what our expectation levels are. And from there, I find out what, vice versa from them.
So as you look at your social media presence, which would you say are the top 3 platforms where you receive the best feedback from those individuals you are targeting?
Oh, absolutely. It's funny. I was just doing that this morning. Definitely Instagram is our number 1. We have a huge Instagram following, and they're very, very active. Facebook would be number 2, and LinkedIn is coming in a strong number 3.
So I'm kind of surprised that there's not that you don't bring up Pinterest. Everyone has been talking to me lately about Pinterest, that Pinterest is the number 3 search engine behind Google and YouTube. So why isn't Pinterest in the top 3 for you all?
It's just, we have all of our clothing on Pinterest. So if you were to go on our website, you can heart it and you can click and send it straight to Pinterest. So we do have a Pinterest presence. It's just the numbers. We look on social media and we, look at our analytics, and it tells us the story of who is really our audience. Pinterest is on there, but it's not in our top 3. So to answer your question, it's just a matter of the analytics talking to us.
So what is the difference of your audience between Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn?
I think there's more beauty influencers, fashion influencers on Instagram, and they respond to us. We get an average of like 30 plus comments on each post at max, or at most. Oh, well, I'm sorry, at least. So it's, like I said, it's just the numbers and the conversations are telling us a story, and Instagram is just where everybody's at, who really likes what we do.
I have a friend, Eric Bam, who, when the pandemic started, as a matter of fact, I think maybe a week or two before it, he sells pizza liners, and he started doing an Instagram live every single day, interviewing pizza operators, which there's a lot of them, in case you don't know. A lot of pizza operators out there, and their Instagram just blew up for the pandemic. So Instagram is something that I struggle with a little bit, because I'm much more of a words oriented person as opposed to images. So I think I need to look at video for that. It just seems like so much work to come up with a picture, get it right. But I'm not wired that way. So we've reached almost 31 minutes in our 30-minute show. So this is the part of the show where I hand it over to you for a couple minutes, and you reach out to the audience, both those here and those that'll be watching on replay, and give them some words of wisdom for them to pursue their dreams.
You got it. Well, thank you all for taking the time to, sit with me and Sean. I always want everybody to know that you can do it. There should never, ever come out of your mouth, I can't. So I'm one of those individuals who don't take no for an answer. If I hear it, then no problem. I'm going to get a yes from you eventually. And just believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, and know that a dream is only just a dream, but you want to make sure that you're wide awake, because your success is right around the corner. So, and also I'm going to definitely throw in, please, everyone, take a look at our website, RosarioGeorge.com, for fantastic fashions, beauty, and more. So, and also be on the lookout for us on New York Fashion Week in September. Thank you.
That'll be exciting.
Yes, indeed.
I always see clips about it, so I'll have to see if I see you there in the clip. So, Tony, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. You've got some really unique insights, and frankly, you're in an industry that I know zippo about. So this has been really educational, and just seeing the transference of foundational processes and values and how business should be done runs the gamut across business, period. It's not, rocket science. It's just consistency, like you said, and treating people fairly. So thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you, Sean. It was a pleasure.
And everyone else, that's Litvak Leadership for today. We will be back tomorrow with another guest from another location and another topic. Enjoy your day and be blessed in all you do. Bye now.
Bye, everyone.